Welcome back to the tool shed. In this tool called Be There, I want to share with you a very practical tool. Sometimes they're a little more esoteric and we need those. Sometimes they're just like the type of tool where you carry on your tool belt. I was like going to make a sword. It could be a weapon too, but a tool on your tool belt, and you only have room for so many of those. This is one of those. So it actually is an ancient teaching or tool. And let me share with you its roots, and then I'll show with you its incredibly modern applications. So for me anyways, it comes from the Hebrew Bible, the Torah, in this moment where God called Moses to come up the mountain, right? To receive the Ten Commandments, to take on the mantle of leadership, this very profound moment. You would think that that's all you would need. If you were called up to come to the mountaintop, that would be sufficient. And as we'll see, it wasn't. Because Moses ascends the mountain, and then God says, come up the mountain, Vayesham. Vayesham means be there. So the question the sages ask is, wait a minute. Moses was just called up the mountain. So isn't by definition, doesn't that mean that he is there? And the answer is, of course, no. Sometimes you can be physically present, but not be there. Now, anybody watching this in this day and age knows just how relevant this is. I mean, never before in human history have human beings been this distracted. I would argue distractible, because that's the other side of it. If we're constantly distracted, I know for myself, it gets harder and harder to maintain my attention, to pay attention for long bits of time, or even for short bits of time. It's hard to be present. That's human nature, and especially now more than ever before. Look, I was told, or I read, that we have something like 80,000 thoughts a day. We can't be paying attention to all of them. We would literally lose our mind. And so we let most of them go. The problem is that we let go all of them, or we pay attention to the squeaky wheel, or to the shiny object, or not always to the most important things. And over again, when I'm counseling people, especially guys, one of the things that I hear time and time again is they're being accused of, by their spouse, by their kids, by their friends, by themselves, of not being present in their lives, to those who they love and adore. And they do love and they do adore them, but they're not showing up. Maybe they're showing up in person, and that's a start. I think I even did a tool on that. But showing up and being there. This is the second half of that equation. Yes, show up to your kid's baseball game. But if you're checking your texts the whole time, even if nobody's watching, there's a price to be paid. Yes, go on, take your family on that trip. A good friend of mine is taking his family on a cruise, and he reminded me of this tool. You know who you are. And we talked about going on this cruise, and that's the check mark. That's a great start. You know, I didn't grow up going on many of those. I would have liked some of those check marks. Now, the next step in this equation, of course, is to go on the cruise and to leave your phone beside you, maybe checking it periodically or not at all. Going on that cruise and not being agitated by what happened in the past, or thinking about all the things you have to do when you come back. Look, the past is gone, and those things will or won't be there. There's nothing you're going to do when you're out at sea, so to speak, or literally in his case. So be there. Come up to the mountain, which is the first half of the equation, and be there. Be all in. You know, I've done hundreds of funerals. I haven't done them in a long time. I did hundreds of funerals as a rabbi. And what I witnessed over and over again were the stories people told of their loved ones, who had the, memories to tell, the trips they took or spending time with their loved one, but B, the times that their loved one was present, was there, was all in. That's another way to say it. To show up, to be all in, not half in, half out. You can't get these moments back. I am only preaching what I need to live, because there have been so many examples when I was there and I wasn't there, when I was checking my phone, when I was on the phone, when I disappeared and went and did business, when I was there not checking anything other than my thoughts and distracted and not fully present You know when somebody's not fully present. You can feel their divided attention. To place your undivided attention onto your loved ones, onto the people around you, onto whomever it is that is standing in front of you in your physical space or on the phone or whatever it is the ultimate gift we can ever give another human being. And frankly, going back to those eulogies, it's the greatest gift for ourselves. If you want to be selfish, and we all should be selfish at times, because I want to be on my deathbed and not living with regret of all of the times I was checking the box or didn't check the box. But even if I did check the box, I didn't go farther. I didn't fully commit. I didn't fully show up. I wasn't all in. As my kids are getting older, I'm seeing the opportunities in some ways slip away. But the flip side of that is that it gives me more impetus, motivation, desire to the times that we do have left to not merely check the box, to be fully up on that mountaintop, to be fully aware, fully in, to be there. So whoever you are, whoever you're with, wherever you're going, don't just ascend the mountain, but fully show up, fully be there, be all in. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, defy your number and live your spirit.